got the juice, I play for hours. Coldest thing running, unlimited power. Doing my thing.
Welcome back to another episode of Hoops and Juice, Unrivaled flavored. And I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit of a few things, but first off, I wanted to talk about the playoff schedule in that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. And I even forgot to until I came back across a post when I posted the schedule for this whole season. And I didn't realize, or I forgot, that this is going to be a different type of playoff system. So it's not going to be your typical 1 versus 6, 2 versus 5, and then, 3 versus 4, it's 3 versus 6. So right now that would be, before today's games, that would be the Laces versus the Vinyl, and then that would be the Rose versus the Breeze, and then the lower seed that wins out of both of these matches will play the number 1 seed, and then the higher seed would play against the 2 seed, and then from there you play your championship game out of the winners of those games. So just a little, just so you know type deal. But again, things can, like I said in the past video, or the last video actually, so much could shake up and change that you just don't know. I think the 1 seed is pretty much set, so they are going to be the ones that's going to face the winners, basically the lower seed of the winners of the first round of the playoffs. So they're kind of already set there, but the second seed is still kind of up in the air. We don't know if it's going to be the Mist or the Laces. Anything can happen. But overall, I've been posting a lot about all-time stats on threads and posting, when people make it to different clubs, like the 500-point club, 400-point club, 300-point club, 200 rebound club. I didn't really do 100 because everybody's just slowly getting there. But then the 100 assist club, because a lot of people are not making it's like one of those things. It's like I keep track of the rebounds and stuff like that, but announcing clubs and stuff like that, it kind of makes more sense to do it when it's actually like a milestone type vibe, I guess. Some fun facts though is that somebody like the MVP, everybody pretty much agrees that Chelsea Gray should be the MVP. Now it just shakes out different when you start talking about all Unrivaled teams and stuff like that, which people are starting to drop their own versions of that, and I guess that's what I'm going to probably end up doing today. But Chelsea Gray has been on a tear these first 2 Unrivaled seasons. She scored about 300 points last year, and then she's, at least before today's games, has scored 330 points. Now, the record is 360 set by Nafisa last year, and I personally believe that Marina could have made it had she not set out a game, because she was good for about 25 to 30 a game, and she might not have made it either. That was a pretty high mark seeing that. But another interesting thing that I noticed when you talk about the scoring is that last year we had skip the totals. Last year we had a total of 2 people score 300 points, whereas this year we already have 2. So this year we already have Chelsea at 330. We have Paige at 308. Nafisa's record last year was 360, by the way. And then we have Marina, who could pass into the 300s with 296. Alicia Gray has 284. So, that's only 15 or 14 points away. No, excuse me. Good grief. 16. And then Kelsey Plum at 282. And then I don't think Brianna Stewart's going to make it at 272 for the season. But yeah, you got some people that we could have a lot. We could potentially, we'll say, have 6 players hit 300 for the season. So scoring's up these games. I mean, there's more games too, I'd imagine, with more teams and stuff, and just more things to do. So, but I mean, that's pretty cool. It's growth for the league, and just interesting to see a bunch of high volume, hot, flammable players going crazy in the season. And then you have, so I had a club that I said wouldn't open until next year. It was the 100-point club from 3-pointers, I should say. 100 3-pointers made club. And the closest we have to that is going to be Chelsea Gray and Ryan Howard with 83 and 81. And then the next closest is about 67 with Alicia Gray, and then Marina with 50. And like, there was a post too where somebody was like, you need to talk about how crazy it is that Marina's where she is for only being, you know, not really playing that much last year. And while yes, that is true, we also need to talk about Paige as well. But Marina's still like, Marina, because she's what, for the year she's made 42. The record for last year was 44, I believe. No, 46, set by Ryan Howard. So right away, Marina may or may not pass it, but she has a chance of passing it. But the fact that Chelsea Gray has already passed it, she's at 47 right now. And then Ryan Ryan would have to have a crazy day. So she didn't make it back to where she was. So there's only two people who could surpass, or Chelsea can continue to set it and push it to 50 in a season, and then Marina could also pass her three-pointers made. But Paige, also, for being such a new player into this league, has already set herself up very close. Like, you know, she is like 17th all-time already, and only 1 year played. Marina didn't play that much last year. I don't remember her playing at all last year, actually. Let me go back and look, because I just have everything set up since Unrivaled doesn't want to do it. She scored 44 points last year. So the fact that she's where she is right now is crazy. So she would be right around Paige's. Like, her and Paige have been on the same pace for this particular season. And obviously Chelsea, you know, everybody's that's scoring 300 and some points. I mean, but for first-year players, that's kind of crazy. Nobody is going to come close to Angel Reese's rebound record, because last year she was at like 170-something. And then this year, the highest is like 130. Yeah, 138 by Leah Edwards. Like, nobody rebounds the way she does. Everywhere she goes, she's going to set the rebound record. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. You're going to get rebounds when she's around, for sure. With the assists leaderboard, it's going to be the same ones that we saw last year, which is Chelsea Gray, Courtney Williams, Natasha Cloud, and Skylar Diggins. The people who should, if we have another season next year or whatever, however things shake up with everybody going their different ways and stuff. You have Brianna Stewart at 83. We know Alyssa Thomas is going to Project B, so she may not be around. Paige is at 75. Alicia's at 75. Jordan's at 75, and Marina's at 70, and then Kelsey's at 67. Ryan's at 66. So we could see some players join the assist ranks of 100 all time. But in terms of like season by season, Chelsea Gray broke her own record. Like, she had 77 last year, and then now she's got 82 before these games are played today. And then Paige has 75, and Kelsey has 67. So Kelsey may not break the record from last year, but Paige is only 2 away. And unless she decides not to pass the ball, then she's gonna also pass that record. Yeah, because of 70, 66, somebody has to. Oh yeah, Sky had 66. But yeah, Chelsea Gray had 77. Now Courtney, if she had I don't know if she played all the games. But if she had come, I'm sure she would be right at the top of those lists as well, as far as all time. And really, like, it's been fun keeping up with the all time stats and stuff like that. But I really think that's something Unrivaled should put into play come season 3. Especially with people like myself and others. I know there are others out there that may not say it, but I had some people respond when I've made mention of like this, the website you couldn't filter through the stats, so they updated that really quick. But I think it shouldn't be that hard to do, pulling from your 2 pages. I can do that in Sheets, and I have limited knowledge in Google/Sheets, and when you update other pages, that update your all-time thing, because that's basically what I do, and then I color code it with formatting, so I can see stuff pop out and be like, oh, okay, somebody's coming close to this, that, or the other, because I set my formats based on my thresholds I want to see hit. So like, I haven't been talking about people necessarily hitting the 500 point club or 600 because, you know, you got the 300 for a year and 400 is like kind of a step above that. And then I kind of just want to skip that and go to like 700 and 800. So I'm kind of waiting for somebody to hit the 700 and 800, which Chelsea will next year, because I don't think she's going to score, 70 points in the game to push herself to a clean 700. So, but yeah. And then steals and blocks. As far as like all-time numbers, nobody is really super close to 50 in either category. But we do have a couple of people who have now crested 30 in all-time steals, which are Alicia, Ryan, Skylar, and Chelsea, having 30, 32, 34, and 35. And then blocks all-time, you have Aaliyah with 33, Aaliyah Boston, Brittany Griner with 31, and then that's it. Nobody else has crested the 30. But when you talk about having, 20 blocks or 20 plus blocks, you could even drop it down to 15, which is crazy. If I drop it down to 15 blocks and double digit steals, you only have Skylar Diggins, which is nuts, Nafisa, Shakira Austin, Brianna Stewart, Ryan Howard, and Aaliyah Boston. Now, if you go and say 20 blocks and 20 steals, there are only a few people. That's Nafisa, who had her great season last year, and then Brianna Stewart and Ryan Howard, which is crazy. But I know for a fact that outside of those two that are post players, Ryan is the one that has always stood out as, I can get it off the perimeter or block. Like, she's really good in that aspect, even though people are like, oh, she's got good counting stats. A lot of people don't like her actual defense, but she's got some great counting stats, and she always pops, even in the WNBA, that I've noticed. Nafisa she holds the record for all time, for the season record, I should say, with 28 steals, and Veronica Burton could pass her this year, because Veronica Burton has 24 on the season, so she needs, quite a bit. Well, she needs 5 to pass her. So, that's more than she's had in a game, I want to say. Let's just check real quick while I'm here and see. No, yeah, she's had a couple of 3s, 2s, 4s. Yeah, so it's going to be not a stretch, but it's going to be hard to get there for the season. But still, she's had a good season, underrated season, some could say. She's been a heavy part of the miss being really good. And then blocks-wise, we have Aaliyah Boston, who has passed Nafisa for most blocks in a season. Nafisa had 22 last year, I want to say. Blocks, let's see, looking through my sheet. No, she had 20. So she had 20 for the season, and then this year we have Aaliyah Boston already with 28 with 1 game to play, and then Cameron Brink with 22. Nobody else is really close at all. The most after that is like 12, 13, 12, which Sonia has 12. Shakira has 13. Sanaya has 12 in way less minutes than everybody else, I'd like to say. And then Ryan has 12. And then Dominique has 13, which is crazy. But her and Brittany Griner both have 13. But I think a lot of their low numbers, the bigger people's numbers, is people avoid them. So I can see why that is the case. But Cameron Brink is a big ball of energy, and she's going to come find you. It's not even a case of coming down into the paint. She's going to come find you and block you, and I like that about her. So Cam Brink is right behind Aaliyah Boston, but they both passed Nafisa for blocks all time, or for a whole season, I should say. And actually, no, I think they have passed her all time. The only other people past them that have passed Nafisa all time, which obviously she didn't play this year, was Shakira Austin, but she played last year. Brianna Stewart, she played last year. Same with Ryan, same with Brittany Griner. And all time, Aaliyah Boston is at 33 and Brittany is at 31. So she could also while she's got the season record, you could say that Brittany could have a good game and set the record herself for all-time blocks. Could be. Rebounds, like we said, Angel Reese has 200, or excuse me, she had 176. So she has a season record. Nobody's going to touch it, but she doesn't have the all-time record. She's actually only playing 2 games this year so far in 5th place, tied with Alyssa Thomas for 196. And then you have people above her like Aaliyah Boston, Leah Edwards, De'Erica Hamby, and then a big gap, and it's Breanna Stewart. So had Angel Reese played this whole season, she would have been still the leader, but because she didn't, Breanna Stewart has the record for all time for the moment, unless, depending on who comes back next year, she'll have it for a while. So, but yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to me. I love the stats of it all. I love the fact that we still don't know what's going on with the playoff seedings too much right now. And that today here at, 1:30, because 1 o'clock is a game that means nothing besides statistics, which is the Hive versus the Lunar Owls. But then you have the Mist and Vinyl playing at 2:15 and automatically starts the, games that matter. And then a little small break, and then we jump back in at 7:30 for the Rose and Phantom, and then 8:45 for the Breeze and Laces to finish it off. So a lot of shifting for position there. A lot of things can change, a lot of things can happen, but I can't wait to see what it looks like. And I don't know how I'm going to do the schedule for the playoffs. I don't know if I'm going to watch the games, make a video the night after the games or the night of the games, and then post before the games the next day. That's probably the move. That's probably what we'll do. So a lot coming at you guys toward, as we run to the finish of Unrivaled, and I can't wait to see. I don't really like to project too far out because anything can pop up, anything can happen, and we could have new ideas and we could just scrap something. But for the moment, we have Unrivaled in front of us, and I can't wait to finish it and continue to bring stuff to you guys and see what's in the future and go from there. But until then, we'll see you guys later.